On the bank of an industrial river sits a train that was built to challenge flying itself. This model was faster and more advanced than anything running across American railways. But after years of development, the entire program was abruptly shut down. Most of these turboliners were eventually scrapped. This one wasn't. Decades later, RTL-III is still sitting here, abandoned yet almost completely intact. Let's explore.
Alright guys, we are walking up on an Amtrak Turboliner RTL-III. There was only 6 or 7 of these ever constructed in existence. And to backtrack on that, there's actually a whole bunch of Turboliner 2s, but only a few were actually upgraded and put into service. Guys, if there's one thing that we're not going to be short on in this Explorer, it's the chair. There is plenty of chairs worthy of being the chair of the episode in here. And we just got to figure out how we're going to get in here. I've heard that there's only 1 or 2 entrances, so we're just going to walk this thing end to end, and well, hopefully we can get in there to check it out, because this looks sick. Alright guys, so no luck trying to get in through an open entrance on the side, so we are going to flip our attention to the roof and start walking along here until maybe, hopefully, we find something. Just check this out. If I just pan up, look how amazing this is. Alright, we're going to turn around because Lucas got us in. I don't know how, I don't know what he did, but it doesn't look like I have to walk on here any longer. Which is kind of a shame because I was really looking forward to going all the way across. Alright guys, we're going to jump in and start exploring this Amtrak Turboliner RTL-III. As I mentioned earlier, there was only a few units of RTL-II which got upgraded to RTL-III. I think there's only 6 or 7, and we're in the cab right now. We just got in, and there's all these crazy controls here. Like, this is nuts. I've never been inside of an abandoned train before. It's always been a goal of mine, but you rarely see things like this. I mean, this is just incredible. It's completely decommissioned, and in the corner we have Lucas. It's very tight in here, like very, so we're going to try our best to navigate this. But if I spin around, we see all this stuff now, and up here we have this control panel with traction engine, ventilation, starters, ignition, safety alarms. I mean, it'd be nice if we knew what all this stuff did, but Lucas and I have never driven a train before.
Not once have I driven a train. We're going to try today, though.
We are going to try. Can you turn that on for me, please?
Yeah.
I think we start, yeah, with that, and then, dude, don't forget the starter. The starter, bro. The starter. Starter on. Nope, starter on. Wait, that's not
That's
actually. That's not a button. Dude, we gotta purge. Fuel purge.
Purge.
What else can we do? Emergency shutdown. It stopped moving, bro.
So, we're in the RTL. We're about to enter the turbine room. These turbines spit out a total of 2,200 horsepower. That's quite a bit. These trains were 425 feet long and 10 feet wide. That's why we're so cramped in here. But yeah, Luke's gonna get around me and show you guys that turbine. It's pretty sweet.
I'm gonna attempt to. It's really tight in here, so I'm gonna do my best. We do get another view of the turbines from around the other side, but this is kind of our best look. So if I squeeze myself in here, just using my phone light, we can see the old turbine units. And I can step in here even more. Look at this. This thing is crazy. The amount of power needed to move this train, and to think there was only 6 or 7 of these ever built is even crazier.
If this was running right next to us, we'd be probably deaf right now with how loud these turbines were.
It's funny, we see these things in power plants all the time, but not to this kind of scale. This is tiny compared to the turbines we're used to, but they did the same exact thing. Guys, for the first time on this channel, let's jump in and start exploring this abandoned train car. This is no longer the cab. We've moved out of the engine and the turbine rooms. And right off the bat, this thing barely looks abandoned. There's actually luggage up above where the passengers would have sat, but it looks like most of them are probably empty. Let's move this one. Yeah, all empty. But this is kind of the definition of untouched. It literally looks like they just decided to take it off the track after its last run. And we'll go straight into the second car here in a second where Andy is. But I think I can flip back around here and just get another view from the opposing side of this train car. And just one more time, look how incredible this is. Again, to think there's only a few of these that were ever upgraded to be the 3rd model version is insane. And the rest of them never received turbines. They just continued on with standard use, and only a few of them remain today.
Wait, what?
Okay, good.
As we can see here, glazing, cancer. Listen to how absolutely satisfying these buttons are.
Dude, it's the King Von train. It literally looks like someone was sitting here yesterday. There's a bag of toiletries with a comb, hair conditioner, and some wipes, and then a towel, a sweatshirt, and then a fleece of some sorts. I mean, come on. There's nothing in here or in here, but why is all this stuff just left behind? If it weren't so trashed on the ground and decayed on the outside, you wouldn't even think this thing was abandoned. All right, guys, we're gonna go jump into the second train car here. And Lucas, what are you doing?
I have a new blouse.
You have a new blouse?
Yeah, or a dress. This looks my style. Look at that.
What?
Absolutely.
Put it on.
Oh. Putting it on.
You know how this works. We find something, it goes on.
Wow. Who in the hell was wearing this thing?
What?
Is this like, what is this supposed to be?
What is this?
I feel like a different...
Dude, what are you wearing?
What is happening? It's too short. Was this a kid size?
Yeah, but what is it though?
I think it's supposed to be sexy. I think I look sexy.
Pose. 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 Turn and run. Coming out of this passenger car, we're going to go ahead and move into the lunch car. We can see the cafeteria was back there, if that's what you want to call it. And this cab is a little smaller than the other ones. It still has all the same designs, the same flip-up tables, same chairs, but definitely less seats. And yeah, this is a pretty standard lunch cabin in a train. I don't even want to pretend like I've been in trains that often, but I know this is what you get for the most part. This is also part of the lunch cab. Not nearly as much seating over here. Again, we have the folded up tables, same design as just the regular cabin cars. Another bathroom. It's very warm in here. And now we'll push on to one of the final cars in here. And this was another passenger cabin. Pretty similar to the first one that we saw. However, this one doesn't seem to have any suitcases or anything left in it. But it does seem to almost be in somewhat better shape. It's a little cleaner, even though it may not look it. The floors are really dirty. And again, if you didn't look at the floors, you would have no idea that this place was abandoned. Guys, when I was younger, I used to have an abandoned train set literally in my own backyard. It was just stuffed in the woods, and it's been repurposed now a few years later, and it doesn't exist. The train tracks are very empty now, but this is a direct reminder of something I would have explored even before my YouTube days, which is pretty cool. We're gonna go hop out into the last train car, which is either just a standard coach, or this could have been first class. There's only one seat on the right-hand side. Could have been business class. Could have been anything, probably but economy. But it's definitely weird that there's only one chair on the right-hand side, considering all these cars are 10 feet wide. So they're all identical, but the format of this one's a little different. And I'm going to assume that if we come through here, we're going to have a similar setup to the other side of the train, the opposing end. We'll have to see if there's turbines in here. We'll squeeze our way through here, somewhat uncomfortably. Yeah, let's check out this little room here and see if there's any turbines in here. Just gonna squeeze my way in. And yeah. So the train actually had 4 turbine units then. Interesting. All right, so Lucas and I finally made it to the rear cab, and we noticed a couple things that we want to point out.
Look, they got windshield wipers, defogger, whatever that is, the horn. I wish it was on.
All these controls are a lot simpler than I would have thought. One thing that we learned, guys, there's 2 different kinds of turbines here. There's the HEP turbine and the traction turbine. So the traction turbine, from what I understand, this would actually control the train itself and the braking systems and all that actually made the train move. The HEP turbine, from what I learned online from doing my research, don't kill me if I'm wrong, is that this controlled more of the AC, the lights, everything on the inside, the internal stuff with the train. And this was more for the actual mechanics themselves. So dumbed down off a Google search, that's what these 2 turbines did.
It's pretty weird. This thing could also run off of a 3rd rail, funny enough.
What's an alert or acknowledge? What's this? Departure test?
Oh, parking.
Oh, look at, oh, this flips up too. So we're parked now.
Oh, we're parked. Good.
We're parked, great.
I was worried.
What about going up? I don't get this, dude.
Oh, 3rd rail shoes?
Hey, at least there's no warnings. And the train status is it's off. Oh, this actually has little words like caked into it. I can't really see what it says. Volts, lead, more volts.
So this Turboliner has 17,000 hours on it. That's a lot. We did the math on it. It's about 2 years. So this thing was running straight for about 2 years. I don't know how many years in service that is, but it's pretty cool. He's crawling. He's trying to get to safety.
Oh my gosh. Dude, that thing's huge.
That's gotta be a snapper.
100%.
So in the very unlikely event that both of the conductors were unconscious, maybe, the passengers could stop the brake just by doing that.
That's crazy. And the whole train would come to a halt. So my question is, if the passengers pulled this and the train would stop, what did those do? Maybe a locking system, like an airlock almost for that? Yeah. It's the doors. I can literally feel the air coming through as you did that. Guys, just because I'm super curious, we're gonna go back up to the front cab, or at least what we believe is the front cab. And we're gonna see if the controls here are any different, especially with the turbines. I just wanted to see, yeah, there's the HEP turbine. So this really controlled the lights and the AC and everything to do with that. And then the traction turbine, this actually controlled the train itself and the movements on the track. But it does look like a lot of the gauges are pretty similar, and there is a reverser here. So just by assumption, I think that this train can go forwards and backwards, and that may seem obvious to anyone that is into trains, but I know next to nothing about them, and I would like to know more, considering this is one of the coolest explorers, honestly, I've seen so far this summer. This place is sick. Alright guys, that is pretty much going to conclude this video. We are going to get out of here in a minute, but before we do, Lucas, do you want to tell them what we got to do?
It's the chair of the episode.
Andy?
It's a charity episode.
It's the chair of the episode. What I'm sitting in right now is the conductor's seat. Yes, for this train, this is the chair. It doesn't get much more special than this. There's like 5,000 chairs in this place, but only one of them sticks out. Lucas, which chair is that?
It's this chair, because it's the chair of the episode.
Yeah, you heard that right. This is the chair of the episode.
This Turboliner wasn't a standard train. It ran on gas turbine engines, the same type of technology used in aircraft, built to move faster and more efficiently than anything else on the rails. For a brief moment, this was supposed to be the future of American rail travel. In reality, the Turboliner program became too expensive to operate, difficult to maintain, and never fully delivered on its promise. After years of development and millions spent trying to bring it back, the entire program was shut down by the mid-2000s. Most of the Turboliners were dismantled or scrapped, but not all of them disappeared. A small number were left behind, and all these years later, this is one of the few still intact.
Alright guys, as promised, I am back on top of the train. Lucas is down there. He already went on top of the train, so he's just going to hang out for a minute. And we are going to continue where we left off a little earlier, and we're just going to walk down this train. And again, I just want to recount how rare and unique this train is. There's not many that were built this way. There's not many that were upgraded to be version 3s, and there's certainly not many trains that have turbines in them. So this is definitely something else. And just like that, we're at the cab. Insane. so this is how we have to get down. Yes, I did this once already. And yes, I'm gonna do it, or try to do this with a camera in hand. So let's see how this turns out. That actually was not too terrible. But we're gonna have to like take a big step down onto here. And then just